You know, the way that it ended wasn't healthy.
Girl, the way that it started wasn't healthy, first of all.
I'm just a girl still.
At the end of the day, I'm just a girl.
Yep.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Parking Lot Dreamer podcast. I'm your host, Hope Blanchard, and today we're joined by my best friend, Makenna Day.
Hi.
Welcome to the van again.
Yes,
but
for
this
the
time, like
100th time.
This time it's like official.
Yep.
I can't tell you guys how many times we've had fake podcasts, but now it's real.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're going to have to do lots of editing to this one.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I don't know. We kill it when it's fake, but now's the real test.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
You look really cute today.
Thank you.
I love your shirt. Where'd you get it?
I thrifted it when we went to the Goodwill bins.
Slay!
I think it's like Eddie Bauer originally, but
I think
got
so
it
too.
from the Goodwill bins.
I love how it looks with your tattoos. How many tattoos do you have now?
Oh, geez, Louise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
She
7,
said, hang on, let me count.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17.
And then your ankle, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm already plotting more.
Heck yeah. Yep. You're gonna need a parking lot dreamer tat.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Please don't do that.
This video goes viral. I'm getting a van right here.
A van. She gets me like a Hope Blanchard-esque tattoo before I get a tattoo.
I was planning one for Golden. I don't know if you ever knew that, but
and then I just never released it. Maybe I should.
You should, just so that, and honestly, good thing I didn't get it, because how embarrassing would that have been? And if I got this tattoo, I mean, it still has meaning.
And then you're like, oh, it was actually cut from the album.
Yep. It's like, I got this tattoo, the song meant a lot to me, and like, still it does. It's still a song, but like, Hope's like, I'm not gonna release it. And I'm like, oh, good thing I didn't get a tattoo for that.
Then throwback. That is so crazy. That's so funny. Makenna, in case you guys don't know, she works for BMI, and she is my manager now. Woo! What do you do at BMI?
So I work in the licensing department. We have basically a sub-department of the licensing.
Oh, I'm the freaking worst. My phone's on silent now. I know I'm the worst. I'm the worst host ever.
So, I work in the licensing department, and there is a sub-department within licensing that's research. And so I work in the research department. I basically look for businesses that use music and have live music and karaoke. And
she's basically a super spy. International.
Yes.
Super spy.
So we just ensure that all songwriters get paid. So I work for Hope in multiple facets.
Heck yeah, I am a BMI girly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So even when she's not working for me, she's working for me.
Always.
Therapist, manager,
friend,
all the things.
PRO.
Makenna got engaged in December.
I did.
And we're starting to get into wedding planning era.
Slowly but surely. It is kind of scary. Not the wedding of it all, but the money of it all. Like
felt.
Like especially in the Nashville area, it's like
so expensive.
It is, and it's like, here's a venue in Tullahoma. So what? Like an hour or so away from Nashville for 6 hours for $6,000. And I just am like, I can't.
It's like you can do your whole wedding for that in Iowa, which is where we met.
Yep. So I think we're gonna make all of our friends down here just do a little road trip to Iowa, because it's a lot cheaper.
And it's really not that bad of a drive. I mean, it's 8 hours.
Nope.
So get some gas station snacks, and maybe by then the Buc-ee's will be in Murfreesboro.
I know. I really wish there was a Buc-ee's on the way.
Yeah, me not knowing directions.
Murfreesboro is actually the opposite
way, but like, good try, Hope. But
that is so funny.
To make it fun, worth it.
Yeah.
We could go to Buc-ee's the night before.
Yes. Yep.
Stock up on snacks.
Yep. I was like, I don't know, I think it was Mitch that made this joke that we should get a bus and just load everybody on, like, different.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean,
might be kind of worth it.
Might be worth it. I don't know how expensive it is.
I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is if I wasn't going to be staying with you guys, me fully assuming that I'm going to be a bridesmaid, but here we are. I would be taking this van and just parking it at the venue.
See, you don't have to invest in like a little bus situation. You just got to pull up. And I think it's going to be at a campground, so it'll be perfect. You could buy a little camp spot. But yeah, I haven't really asked anybody yet, so it's not just you, but who knows if you'll be a bridesmaid. I don't know.
I know. Oh.
I'm just kidding.
That'll be the next podcast episode, me confronting you for not. I'm like, hey, we've been best friends. Am I even invited? No. I'm super, super excited. Everything on Pinterest that we've been sending back and forth is so cute. Makenna's going to be the most beautiful bride in the entire world. And Noe's going to look so handsome.
I know. I'm really excited.
He is. I'm so stoked for him.
I know. I'm so pumped.
Noe will just be finding this out as, Noe is her fiance. He will just be finding this out as he's watching this podcast. But the other day, I was so emo. Makenna and I went to this farmer's market, and he called her on our way back home, and he was, like, connected to the car. And I got to, like, hear him not as my friend and, like, hear him talk to her as her best friend and, like, her fiance. And I was like, okay, I love this man. Like, I feel so happy and lucky that, like, my best friend has somebody so nice. Now, Noe, if you break her heart ever, I'm gonna delete this podcast from the face of the earth. But I figured I'd get emo and tell you that I love you.
Yeah, it seriously is so sweet. And he is the sweetest person, but he does have, and it's all jokes, but he does have this very hard, like, outer shell, but it's all funny.
Sometimes I text Makenna, I'm like, does Noe hate me? Like, actually?
Yeah. Sometimes she'll be in, like,
jokes.
like an anxiety spiral, and she'll be like,
and Noe doesn't even like me. Like, my best friends don't even like me. No, literally, I joined her live today because I was running a little behind is crazy, for this podcast, and she didn't respond. And I was like, oh, she either hates me or she's on live. And I opened TikTok and I was like,
yeah, I'm trying to be an influencer. So
You're doing a good job. I think you could do it for real.
I agree, but I just
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And here's the deal. I don't have time, period. Like, I think a lot of my anxiety about life in general is, like, not having any time to, like, do what I want to do after I get off work. Right. And so it's like, if I have to double the time that I spend getting ready or, like, making dinner to make a video and, like, make content, it like, it just stresses me out. Like, the other day I went to the pool and I tried to do, like, a pack my bag, like, you know, for the pool, because I thought that would be kind of cute. And I swear I sat there for 45 minutes being like, hey guys. And I just got so frustrated. I was like, screw it, I'm going to the pool.
For real, the amount of B-roll is crazy. The amount of stuff I have in my phone that I cut out of me. Literally, my intro podcast, I just start cussing and I'm like, I hate myself, like, so loud into the microphone. And it's like, girl, chill out.
And it's like, okay, if this
it's mental illness, isn't it, love?
Right. If this is bringing me so much, like, because I started making content because I needed something creative to, like, just spice up my life a little bit.
She's a creative girly.
And then I started getting, like, angry about it. And I was like, wait a minute.
It's like, wait, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. So let me just prop my phone up and make some, like, little outfit videos. And maybe one will catch on. I don't know.
I hope so.
We'll see.
You're doing a great job. Yeah. She set up her little like to know it. She has all her cute little videos. She started doing transitions. We went to get our nails done. She did this cute little transition video, and I'm like, you are doing it.
Yeah. I don't know how I did, but it was a pretty good one. It didn't go viral. I was surprised.
Me too. It was the best one I've seen of that trend.
Thanks.
Smoothest transition ever. What's your dream right now?
Oh my
I know
gosh.
that it can change. What's your dream right now? Is it influencer? Is it, listen, I want to get married and I just want to be in love for a little while? Is it I want to be an A&R rep? Is it, what's the vibe right now?
I don't think I'm in a place in my life to really articulate that because there's lots swirling around right now. But I have a few vibes that I'm picking up on. I think the influencing space would be really cool. I think mentally I need a way to make income that's a little bit more passive, allows me to, go see my family more because they're 9 hours away. Just take some more time to myself, like mentally, because I do love my job and I love the company that I work for, but it, just working corporate in general is kind of draining. Right. And I think you go through ebbs and flows of like it taking a toll on you and then it being okay. And then, so, that's kind of why I started doing the influencing stuff in the first place, was because I needed something to just bring a little bit of like excitement to my life.
Yeah, totally.
And now that like things are moving for you, we're doing more creative things for you. My fiance is getting into video editing and like all of that stuff. He's really killing it, and like we're going to gigs more and like different events because he's filming and I'm making content. Like life has just lifted, just felt a lot better. And I know. And so that is like my current, like 29th of June, like that is just what I'm focusing on, is like getting out of that rut. Because, the last few months I've been kind of truly struggling with the corporate of it all.
Yeah. And it's like, so many people listening feel that, like, even like you love your job. Imagine the people that like go to work that hate the company that they work for and they're having to do all the same stuff
on top of it. Right.
It's like, that is,
like I at least am in the vein of what I eventually want to do.
Right.
Like in terms of, right. In terms of long-term goals, anything in music.
She's like, well, I'm hoping that you'll just hurry up and get famous.
Right. But... So here's the deal. We're
desperate.
No. I just believe in Hope and like what she's doing so much that like
I'm gonna cry.
It has been very easy to put a lot of my time and effort into her project because I feel like it, in a selfish way, like obviously I do it because you're one of my best friends, like I do think your stuff is good, like I believe in you, but also in a selfish way, like we are the type of people, this team around us are the type of people who, like, if one of us goes up, like we're taking all of us with each other,
It's a common thing they talk about in Nashville is like you rise with your class,
And so especially like just internally with like, you and Noe and Mitch and I and a few other people who have helped us along the way, like if one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And it's been so fun just living in our little hub outside of Nashville, and
when something cool happens, freaking out.
Yep. It is a cute little thing.
We have this thing that we say. Makenna has this video of Noe when we did a little video project and it was getting views. And he was like, baby, grab the car keys. We're going over to Hope and Mitch's.
We're going to the office because it's like we always
we do everything together. Yeah. For real, it's giving like there are days that we can't get together because either Makenna and Noe are busy or Mitch and I are busy, and we're like, okay, this is weird. Like,
yeah, like I'm kind of angry, and like why should I be angry?
Right, but it's giving like it's giving we're all married
for real. It's like, oh, Hope and Mitch can't hang out tonight, as if they didn't hang out with us for the last 4 nights.
But we're like, what are we getting for what are we doing for supper tonight? What's the plan? And it's like, we're not roommates. We're not married. We're just with each other all the time, between like just hanging out as friends and like hanging out and talking about like music stuff. We're just always together. So, yeah. Oh my God, the battery in the van. Okay.
Just died.
That's fine.
Anyways, probably one of those lights on your dashboard probably had to do with it.
You mean my emojis?
Your emojis.
Bad.
So I guess going back to the putting all of my eggs in your basket conversation. Like, that is essentially my dream goal, is that I get to rise ultimately to the top where we're all okay financially to just remain in this group, because I don't mean to toot our horn, but we just have a synergy in our team that is like incredible. And I think if I am able to, all of us rise together and like that is what we do, you know, for our career, that would be amazing. And that's what I love to do. I love giving creative direction and like creative ideation, and
you're so good at it too. Literally everything that you see online, I have sent to Makenna before I post it. Like everything, even a selfie. I'm like, hey, should I post this? Or like everything you see, approved by Makenna.
Yeah.
Artistic direction by Makenna. Like
for real. And it's like we kind of stumbled on trying to figure out what my title actually is, and I mean truly it's a lot, and I think that's how a lot of managers come to be. Truly is just a personal connection, and then you believe in somebody and you do things for them, and then they're kind of given a title, and so it's kind of like creative director, manager.
And it was hard to like figure out. I mean, like, you've obviously done so much to help me for what, 5 years now?
Well, I was actually doing the math before I came here, and so you've been in the van for 5 years, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so I would have known you for probably 7 or 6.5, probably
6.5, because Mitch and I just celebrated in October our 6-year wedding anniversary, and I met you like right after Mitch and I got
and married. I mean, we'll get into this later, but the reason I met you is for music and social media and stuff. So
point
truly,
period.
like,
and then I had no friends, and I saw that Makenna had a Taylor Swift keychain, and I was like,
besties?
Question mark. I remember the first time we hung out, we went to a movie. What were we thinking? Like, that's kind of an awkward first hangout. I'm like, hey, you wanna...
Do you even remember what movie it was?
It's giving... No, because I was just so excited to be hanging out with you.
That is so cute.
I was just so excited. And do you remember what it was?
No. Like, I literally forgot we even went to a movie until you just said something.
Yes.
Because
I didn't care. It wasn't a movie I was excited about. I was just like wanting to hang out. So I'm like...
And what are we supposed to do in Southeast Iowa? Like...
Very true. It's like, you want to go to Casey's? But I thought that would be like a good, like, first hangout, because we don't have to talk.
Right. We can just hold hands.
Hey, baby. You want to make out? Kidding!
That is so funny.
That's so funny.
But... yeah, I mean, that's my ultimate dream, rising with all of us as a group.
I love that.
But then obviously I've always been drawn to publishing and songwriting. I think through this like exploration of coming out of this rut, I think I've kind of started to become more comfortable in being like, no, this is a skill that I have, and like I'm confident saying that, and like
good.
It's a work in progress. she's
coming. I get on her case a lot, because a problem that Makenna has been having is like, she has all of these skills, but it's nothing that's like a tangible product. Like using me, for example, right? I put out music, there's a tangible product. Noe, that we were talking about earlier, he edits a video. The video file is the final product. A lot of what Makenna does and is so good at is like organizational and idea generation and creative, and it's nothing you can go like...
Right. It's hard to sell that too, especially when you're at Red Door and you're like, hi, my name's Makenna, I
do stuff.
Yeah, like, I just think really well.
But it's so true, and it's so needed. Like, there are people all over Nashville that have the same skill set as you and are like thriving. So I think it's just like a time thing and figuring out how to word it, and then just like being, like you said, like you're starting to gain confidence in it.
Right.
But also it's hard to gain confidence when like we weren't doing anything.
Right. So
now it's like, okay, you know what? Like, we've started a podcast as a team. We're doing this. We're doing that. Like, it's almost like you are starting to get physical things that you've...
Right. Yeah, and I one of those that I think in terms of like publishing and stuff, like I feel that I have this good ear just when it comes to music, period. And it's hard to say that because music is subjective, but that's one of my favorite
pulse, though, like on the market and stuff. Like, I know that music is subjective, but also it's not,
right
and like you have a really good ear for artsy stuff, but then you also have a good ear on like, this is gonna work,
right?
And that's so valuable. I show her all of my songs, every single one,
and there's plenty of them where she's like, this is ass, I don't like this, and I'm like, Hope,
this is really good.
Like, I actually think you should go touch it up. And
I know my a single that we're currently working on, her name is Imogene. I was sitting on for like 2 years or something, and the Tortured Poets department came out, and I started just like fiddling with it again, and Makenna's like, yeah, you need to release
probably should do something with that.
Yeah,
I'm mainly excited for, like, I do love her, Imogene, but
we do love Imogene,
but I'm mainly excited for this new direction, and like honestly, the next few songs, like the next few singles,
some of the ones you haven't heard of yet.
I know, like the fact that like there are ones that you haven't played out that nobody knows about that you are super, super proud of, and it's like we're hoping to release in the next 3 months, and it's just like it's just super exciting, you know. I'm really excited.
I'm pumped. Yeah, maybe I should play that one out at a gig, gauge some reactions. That one meaning the one that we're both thinking about right now, but not saying. Not you though. You don't know, but you will soon. Do we want to talk road rage for a minute? What this week is pissing you off?
Okay, so rage.
It's like that meme. You know what? I'm glad you asked. I've been dying to talk about it.
Here's the deal. Things that bring me rage, I'm like, not gonna talk about
that while the camera's rolling.
But something that is silly rage.
Okay,
is the amount of clownery we have had with Reputation Taylor's version.
Literally? No.
Because it's happening again in Dublin. Like, she's literally playing, like, right now. And
are her surprise songs, has she played them yet?
I don't know. But they did it again. Taylor Nation was like, here's a picture, and everybody's like, it's the same picture that she posted right before she announced 1989. Taylor's like, it's happening. She posted it in black and white, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I know what's going to happen, because honestly, what I'm angry about, and I say this very lightly, it's not real, but
yeah, Taylor, if you're watching this, we're not
angry.
As if.
But like, if at the London shows, when we knew, like,
we're like happening. Hand on the Bible, like it's happening right now.
And I was like
I stopped. We were like building things. I think we were building the pallet wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mitch, you have to wait a minute.
I'm joining the live right now.
I'm joining his live right now. Like, you have to wait. And then nothing.
Nope. She played Thank You, Amy and Mean, and I was like, oh, it's happening. And then it didn't happen that night, and I was like, okay, it's going to happen at the end of London. Like, she's teasing it.
Nope.
Like, I got my Reputation shirt out for
what?
Where
you at, girl? I got it out for what?
I was like,
I painted my nails black and started cutting people off for what?
I got angry at all my friends for what?
I broke off my marriage for what? Just kidding. I would never. But it's like,
that is so funny.
I crashed my car for what?
For what? No, and so on a more music industry vibe of it all, like, I would kill to be in that like rollout room and like their creative room, because I have been trying to figure out what the purpose is behind, like, one, her
blue balling us.
that, but one, her going on the Eras tour without all of the re-recordings done. Like, I would have sworn from like a cookie cutter perspective, like, oh, I want to own
everything
I'm
performing it
as I'm out performing, you know, Reputation. I mean, that's one of the biggest parts of the Eras tour, and that album is still, like, it doesn't have a re-recording yet. And so at first I was like, it doesn't really make sense that she's going on an Eras tour. Like, I'm not questioning a genius, but I'm like, I would be so intrigued to be in that room
2 years from now too, and like see the full picture, because obviously they're very, very smart, and she's very, very smart. But I wonder if sales have been better releasing them on tour.
I bet.
And then also it's like, well, you know what? Forget that, because I was going to say, also it makes it so you can, you know, she's on a long tour, so she can still release albums. But I was like, she can't just be in the studio recording. She did. Tortured Poets. So what am I talking about?
So it's like the first one is like, well, why weren't they released before the Eras tour? And then two, she released a whole new album in the middle of the Eras tour and then added it. And so it's
she's like, I just want to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah. And I am eternally grateful. So grateful. I'm obsessed with that album. But
I love it. I think it's one of her best. If not her best.
Yeah. Just the thought behind it all. I just would love to be in somebody's brain, whoever is spearheading that.
Tree Pain.
Yeah, for real. And so that's kind of, I'm just very interested to see, because the tour is almost over. I mean, they got till December and she still has 2 albums technically.
Do you think she'll release them at the same time? Marketing wise, I wish she would. Like that thing that was going around, like, all that's left to take back is my reputation and my name. Mm-hmm. Like, that would be so cool if she did it like as a double album type drop.
Because
but I don't know if...
What is it, June? July, basically. So it doesn't, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months to do 2 albums. I don't know. I am very interested. And then I'm like, she has to have it done.
When did she wipe her Instagram? Because I feel like that was over the summer. Before.
When did Taylor Swift wipe her Instagram? August.
So I wonder if it'll be then.
She had the Taylor Nation made that post that was about August.
Slipped away. We're clipping this and posting it, and if it doesn't go viral, I give up.
Yeah.
I give up.
It was, because the post was like, it was like get in the car, like it was Getaway Car and August.
And August mixed together.
I'm sure we're like the last person to make this connection. Like, I'm sure it's probably like already over Twitter, and I'm just behind, but it's cool that I came to it myself.
We did it ourselves in real time. You just saw that. we did it ourselves. We're detectives.
But I guess in addition to that, I'm interested to see if they plan on releasing both of them before the tour is over. Right. Or if she's just going to release Reputation in August and then release Debut next February and the tour's over. Because, I mean, she said that it's done in December. But
do you think it's done? Or do you think that leg is done and she'll start touring again, like, over the summer?
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe...
Like, it's got to be a lot on the body and a lot on the voice. Like, it's got to be super stressful, those long shows. But if she were taking good care of herself and, like, gave herself a break, like, I would go on and off on this tour for, like, years.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, I could just get it. I could sit and talk about this forever. Just like I would be interested to see what happens after the Eras tour.
Right. Like is she done touring? Is she getting married to Travis and they're gonna like chill out?
Right.
Is she gonna just like immediately go on like a drop TS12. Another album and go on another tour? Like,
well, that's what I don't know how credible it is, but I think it was like a source in like the Daily Mail, and like it's been all over Twitter that like she's already planning for like 26, like a tour for 2026.
She's crazy.
I love her. I don't know. I could be like in December and then she releases maybe I could totally see her being like, here's 3 more albums and I'm gonna go on a
Eras Tour
part 2, second half of my career. Like,
literally. But there was like no debut songs. So what if she toured
that's
debut
another one.
and
That's
Reputation?
a rage. No, that's a road rage.
That's a road rage.
Like,
I was 7 years
Taylor?
old. Taylor, girl. You're the reason this whole thing, this mental illness called music for me, started, and I was so excited. I could never afford to go to any of the shows growing up.
I could.
And so I was like, slay. She goes, I could. Slay. Shout out Alicia.
no, afford is crazy. I don't even know how, but sorry, you can restart that so we can.
No, that was so funny. I couldn't afford to go to any of the shows growing up, and so I was so stoked that, like, oh my god, the songs that I grew up on, like, I thought I would never get to hear them performed live, and
Teardrops on my guitar.
And luckily our surprise songs were good, but I was like, why are we pretending this doesn't exist?
Yeah,
there has to be a reason.
I know.
Because she could have given them at least played our song in Teardrops.
Right.
And then outfit era change. Like, there has to be a reason. I just
never questioning her, but
I'm questioning
we will discuss.
we will discuss.
We will yap about it.
We will yap about it in a questioning manner until we know. But then you bet when it all makes sense and she releases it, we're gonna be like, brilliant. Never doubted her.
Yeah.
Never doubted her.
Ever.
Not for a second. I'm dead. What are you doing for the 4th of July? You're going home?
Yeah, last minute I decided to go home. Our CEO was like, here's a few extra days off. And I was like, thank you. So I'm gonna go home by myself, which is kind of sad, but Noe has to work. And yeah, I think my mom's excited to start like wedding planning and stuff. So I think we're gonna start that, and yeah, just lounge around.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. By the time they watch this, it'll probably be well past the 4th of July, but it's one of my favorite holidays, so I have to talk about it. I don't know what we're gonna do. Probably
last year we watched the fireworks
from a bank.
A bank parking lot.
I know, I have to. I like 4th of July and Christmas are like my family's holidays.
Well, and being from like New England, like, of course,
right?
You know, like, so, it's giving like the Taylor Swift
4th of July party.
4th of July parties that I would like fiend over when I was like 14.
For real, that's what it's
your
like.
life,
right? That's what it's like. Like we would always go to my Nana and Papa's house, and it's just like a walk down to the beach, and so we'd have all the friends and family friends come over, and we would have like burgers, hot dogs, all the things, and then like so much dessert and
pie, ice cream.
Oh yeah, my mom would make this like truffle every year. Oh, it was so good, Makenna. It was like chocolate truffle with like Heath bar, like crunch things on the top. So good. But yeah, and then we would just walk down to the beach with our blanket and sit on the beach and watch the fireworks over the water.
So see, what we did is we take the car out to the fairgrounds. That's it.
Hey, you know what? When you're a kid, it's magical. But it is. I do everybody in my life that I love. I'm like dying one year to share those like beach fireworks. Like the amount of times that I've thought about like, Makenna, no, we have to come and see the fireworks. Like Mitch's parents went one year to Cape Cod for 4th of July with us, and they like his dad still talks about it. Like I'd love to go back there for the 4th of July. Like it's just so. Oh, it's magic. It's magic. And then changing out of your, like, daytime clothes, like throwing on sweats to walk down to the beach. And the past few years, it's been bad weather, though, so they haven't even
done the thing.
So I bet this year will be huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how long fireworks last. But yeah, they take this big barge, like the boat, in the middle of the ocean and shoot them off the boat. I bet the animals in the ocean are like, what the hell?
What the hell?
The sharks like,
wake up, Grandpa.
The sharks like, spicy.
That is so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's where Jaws was filmed. Was over on the vineyard. I want to bring you guys there too.
Yes, I do want to go. I do want to go.
Can y'all share this podcast, please? Jeez Louise. I can't even go home. I can't even go see my mama. I hate myself. Okay.
Don't start it.
Back to what Makenna and I were talking about earlier about synergy. We just got an intern. Shout out Lolly. We literally love you so much. And Makenna and I will do the same like mannerisms at the same time or say the same exact thing at the same time. And Lolly's like, that was weird. And then we'll do it like 15 more times before the day is over. And she's like, what?
And I really like, you notice it sometimes, but until you have like a true external person like come in and spend time with you like during the day, it's like, and them pointing it out, it's like, that is really
now we're
crazy.
Like that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah. Every time we get done laughing, we'll both go, ah, and we'll be like,
that's so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah.
That's so funny. Makenna and I discovered that girl humor is just repeating the same thing that the last person just said and laughing even harder the second time. Let's tell them how we met.
So I am originally from a small town in Iowa, and you lived there at the time after you got married to Mitch. And because the town is so small, I knew Mitch, and he knew that I wanted to go into the music industry. And so he had just texted me one day, and he was like, is this still something you want to do? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, my wife is a musician. Do you want to help with her social media? And at the time, that was the coolest thing ever. I was hot shit. Like, I was like, oh, my opportunity of a lifetime. Which, like,
because in Bloomfield, yes. It was. Like, at that age in Bloomfield, like, how many, oh, maybe I shouldn't say where you're from.
Oh, I don't care, but if you care.
I don't care, as long as you don't care.
No, I don't care.
At that age, like, in that small of a town, and there's not music going on there, really. No. So, that is, like, a opportunity. So.
Right, and I mean, in retrospect, like, it was a huge opportunity.
It's just me, but it's just me, but
I was actually meaning the opposite. Like it is like I'm literally moved 9 hours away from home, work with you, like we're best friends. Like it was a huge opportunity, but just like looking back at like how little me felt, like how cool I felt is really funny. But yeah, I drove a minute and a half to your house because the town is so small, and I walked in, sat at the kitchen table, and I logged my keys on the table, and I had a little Taylor Swift keychain. I don't even remember what it was. Keychain. Oh, she does.
I do remember.
And I think we were like small talking, like Mitch is heading it. He's like, this is what we're doing, and I was like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. And Hope's like, is that a Taylor Swift keychain?
Me asking if it is, and I 100% know.
Right. She's like, I know where this came from. I know how much it was on our website.
On her website? I have added to my cart right now.
Yeah. And then we became really best friends ever since then. I honestly think, yes, Mitch wanted my help with social media and stuff, but I think he also knew that like you needed friends, and not in like a deprecating way, but
in a deprecating way. Let me roast this man real quick. I love him so much. I moved to small town Iowa to be with him, and we had a house. I always joke and say we went backwards because we had a house, then an apartment, and now we live in this van.
Yeah.
But I knew nobody. Not a single person, and we got married young. So I was 18, and we did have a lot of Mitch's friends, and I do love them, and I've always loved them, but like...
girlfriends are different, you know?
Yeah, like, girlfriends are different, and also people your age, it's just different, you know? And everyone my age was like in high school.
Right.
or just graduated and moved away to college. So this man, I would be at the grocery store, not even like Hy-Vee and Ottumwa, like the Bloomfield grocery store.
Right, the little one.
Yes. And he would be like, hey, you look about her age. Like, do you want to be friends? And I'm like, Mitch, that is so embarrassing. And he's like, how is that embarrassing? Like, they probably think you're cool. And I'm like, why would they think I'm cool? Be so for real. In my gym shorts and my t-shirt and you asking them to be my friend?
Yeah, why? That's funny.
I know he was just being sweet, but I was like... Ah.
So, we met sitting at a kitchen table, right? In your family, I'm trying to gauge if this is a Midwest thing. In your family, did you ever be like, let's sit at the kitchen table to like discuss?
Talk?
Yeah.
Not really.
Because I have said that to Noe quite a bit. Because like we're just in a spot where like he's, you know, with video stuff and like just budgeting and investments and all that.
Yeah.
I keep being like, we need to sit at the table and go over our budget or go over our calendar.
It's like a Midwest thing, though,
yes.
I think. Because, like, a lot of people will sit at the kitchen table. Like, my mom would sit at the kitchen table and do bills and stuff. But now she sits at a desk because bougie.
Fancy.
But all the kids are gone.
And
so
he laughs at me every time. He's like, that's so funny. And I was like,
where
no,
else
it's
are we
not.
gonna do it?
Right. It's like two people, you sit. It's like a conference table. And my mom, talking about wedding stuff,
she's like, sit at the kitchen table.
She's like, I just need you to come home so we can sit at the kitchen table. And I was like, see? And I was like, no, he was just making fun of like me for that a week ago. And then I was like, we were sitting and talking at a kitchen table about like your career when we first met. And so I don't know. I just didn't know if that was like a Midwest thing or...
It must be low key. Because like, yeah, my mom would sit there to like pay bills because there's lots of counter space at the kitchen table. But like, as far as sitting and talking, I feel like we...
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Homework though.
Right.
I wasn't allowed to do my homework in my room.
Lots of tears shed at the kitchen
Lots
table.
of tears, whether it's being
Lots of
forced, whether it's being forced to eat a vegetable that I don't want to eat, or, oh my god, my dad is such a good cook, but this one time he made this like god awful, it was like some like turkey something, and like it had grape jelly as like I don't know where he found this recipe, and it's like sweet and sour. Like I could not, like, oh my god, still to this day I'm like feeling nauseous just thinking about it. It wasn't, and he's a great cook, so I think it was just like a bad recipe. And my mom pretended to love it and ate the whole thing, but I literally could not. Like, I was actually gagging, and he was like, eat it. I'm like, oh my god, like I cannot. And now years later when I bring it up, my mom's like, yeah, that was disgusting. I'm like, you made me eat it.
You imposter.
You imposter, for real. Heather
so
still remembers it too. It's like,
yeah, I think we all have something like that. My dad is a great cook. Like, he griller, smoker, all of that. And he made like a crock pot lasagna, or maybe like a crock pot spaghetti one time.
Not good.
And it's like, it's one of those, like, I probably was like 8, but like, or 10, but we all remember that one meal that was like,
it's like, oh,
this is really bad.
This is real bad. But yeah, whether it's things that I don't want to eat or math homework, lots of tears were shed.
Drama for me was homework.
Yeah.
The kitchen table.
Kitchen table, homework. You're gonna sit here, you're gonna do it. Oh my god, it was horrible. Horrible. Especially math. Because, like, my mom was like, I can't help you with that. Yeah. I don't know how to do math.
That's going to be me.
That's going to be me.
I mean, it's seriously, what was it? I had a teacher in... I know her name, but I'm not... 6th grade, I think. And she was so mean to me. I came to her with questions, and she was like... you dumbass. And I was like, okay. And so then I stopped asking questions about math, and I from 6th grade on, like, I like in college I tested so low in my math. 6th, 7th grade, where it was like the bullies were vibing, the boys were starting to become a thing, like it was just like really, really an embarrassing time all around. I can remember I went up to her podium and I'm like, I don't get this. And she's like, how many more times do I have to explain it? Like
a few
yelling
more.
in front
Thanks.
of people. Yeah, like, and ever since then, I just had no desire, really. And it's crazy that things like that can completely change,
for real,
really, the trajectory of your life. Because, like,
because you're then afraid you go through years of schooling not understanding something because you were too afraid to ask and actually learn it. So now, you're in college and there's some skills that you never learned from the 6th grade fully. You don't fully comprehend because you're like, well, I better not.
And math is one of those, like, English, yes, it also, like, stacks on each other and whatever, but it's very easy to kind of go back and, like, reevaluate. But with math, it's like, it just every year it stacks and stacks and stacks. And if you don't understand 2nd, 3rd grade, like, basics, like, once fractions came into play, it was over for me.
It was over for me.
Like, it's actually kind of sad, but, like, it's like once you don't understand one thing and you don't grasp it, it's like everything else that adds on to that
doesn't make any sense.
No. And so it's just, math was never my thing.
The title of this episode being, like, Taylor Swift, fractions, and
the music industry.
In the music industry. No, we already said Taylor Swift. That is the music industry. We're entering Road Rage Part 2 because we have a lot to yap about. If you've ever heard my song Love You This Way, I wrote that completely about Makenna's situationship with this, I don't want to call him a man, with this boy. Would you like to elaborate? Was that the first time you've ever had a song written about you? Did you feel weird? Were you like, why did she...
No, it meant a lot to me. And especially, like, in retrospect, like, having a feeling or, like, a moment in time in my life being, like, immortalized by a friend is so, so special. And, like, it means a lot. But, yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm older and, like, I'm very obviously, like, I'm engaged and, like, it's not a petty thing anymore. Remember we were, like, making, like, the lyric video and
this man's name is hidden in my lyric video, just saying.
But now that it's in a more mature way, I don't know, I still love it. And I think every girl has this, like, defining moment in, like, romantically, that kind of sets the trajectory for the rest of their life. Really, like, how they handle love, how they handle themselves, and that was that for me. And so having you write something, like, just observing me going through that is super special. But yeah, that's why that situation is so important to me, because it's like,
had that not happened, like, things with Noe maybe are...
Oh, it would have been completely different.
Yeah.
It would have been completely different. And the way that it ended wasn't healthy.
Girl, the way that it started wasn't healthy, first of all.
Well, for anybody who doesn't, like, who's never listened to the song, which, like, you should, but for anyone who, like, needs it broken down a little bit, basically, I was in a situationship, which is something that I think is kind of new with, like, online dating and stuff. And basically someone who wants to be with you, loves you, say they love you,
treat you like they love you,
treats you like a partner, but doesn't want to be exclusive.
Doesn't want the label of we're dating, but also doesn't want to lose you.
Right. And I'm also going to get jealous or whatever when
you move on.
Right.
Like, this man...
It's going to hurt my feelings.
This man is still watching all of her stuff.
Yeah.
Probably watching this. Hey.
I just think that the song is more like... And now we're, like, looking at it from a mature lens. Yes, she's, like, baggy, and she's, like, ultimately it's very much like, I want you to be with me.
Right. I want to love you.
Right. But I think what's really powerful about it is she's like, but I'm not. Like, like, I'm not going to love you this way. This is not what love is. And
I want to love you, but I don't want to love you this way.
I saw a TikTok the other day, actually, that like aligns with this song and just this situation perfectly. That was like, if he's your soulmate, he would want to be with you.
Right. Like, you wouldn't have to beg. I need to write a song about this. But who I thought was going to be the love of my life.
Yep.
When I was 13.
Right.
He told me, you're the type of girl I want to marry, not the type of girl I want to be with right now. And I was like...
Bars, first of all.
Bars, first of all. Like, respect. Okay. But, yeah, I need to write a song about that. Because I'm sure that is like a common... Maybe they don't just come out and say it. That was very bold of him to do.
Right.
Very bold.
But it is very true. A lot of these guys who string girls along, they
have that mentality.
Yeah, of like,
it's like, I want to be with you forever.
Right.
Like, I don't want to, don't run away, but like, leave me
I don't have my
shit
together right now, and like, but I still want you to like hang around and like,
right,
do things.
It wasn't even I don't have my ish together. It was I want to be young and dumb and but
yeah, and I think my biggest piece of advice is I think a lot of them see that when you do move on and when you finally are like, I'm not gonna love you this way.
Shoot. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, like she was actually ready for something serious, and like she
at 14 years old.
For me, mine was 21.
I know, for real.
But so mine was a little bit older, and I guess
I did get married at 18, so maybe I was ready.
Right. But like no, like she was ready, and like she was probably the best thing that I could have had. And because I think a lot of guys go through this, from my understanding, is like
I messed up.
Right. I messed up, and like I'm still haunted by that. So
good.
There's a little bit of part of me that's kind of like,
no, the
it feels good.
Oh yeah, the pettiness doesn't go away. The way I've been married for 6 years, and I'm so happy, and like I love Mitch more than anything in the entire world. Like, he's my person forever till we stop breathing. But I am like, yeah.
I'm just a girl still.
I'm just a girl. At the end of the day, I'm just a girl.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I'm just a girl. And I love the fact that it's like, well, you had your chance and you're never going to have that chance again. Sorry.
Exactly.
You lost out.
Yep. And so that's why I don't cry to that song anymore. I like actually kind of bump it.
You're like, get it, girl. You're like, hey.
So funny.
I could try to bring it up real casual. Yeah,
we need to make a club remix.
Honestly, we should. The healed version.
Healed version. Okay, Kelsey.
I am so, like, I love that song too. It's so special because it's the first song that I wrote completely solo that, like, I show you and I show Mitch all my songs. And Mitch is such a great songwriter, and I respect him so much. So typically I will like start a song and I'll bring it to him and go, hey, can you co-write the rest of this with me? I want to make sure we get it right. And I showed it to him and he was like, that's done. Like, that has to go on the EP. It's great, and I don't need to do anything to it. And I was so stoked. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was writing it. It was really fun too. It was a fun way to write because I was like writing it in live time and sending it to you.
Yeah, it was really
like, cool. It was like, okay, here's the next thing. And that was from a Cracker Barrel parking lot. That's the one I thought so. We do this thing, as you know, literally you helped me come up with all of these ideas, so what am I talking about? But anyways, we do this thing where we have a drive time playlist. What song are you vibing with right now, or songs plural, that we should add to the drive time playlist so that our friends can listen to it?
So I have two.
Okay.
Anything by Griff. That is a huge, like, roll the windows down, blast it vibes.
Is there a song called Anything, or are you saying anything? Like,
no, the song is Anything.
Okay, perfect. Yep. I will have to listen to it.
Yes, and Here Alone Again by Olivia O'Brien.
Oh,
those two both give, I think it's on brand, they both give Love You This Way vibes. They give Situationship. And I'm kind of I'm very, very happy right now, but I'm in my sad girl music era for no reason. Literally wedding planning, and I'm like, sad girl music era. It's too good.
It's too good to not.
Yeah, those are the ones I recommend. I think you should add them.
Deal. I will add them. Well, thank you for coming on the real podcast this time.
I think we killed it.
I think we killed it too, and I'm excited already for the next one because we have a lot more we can
I know.
talk about.
If we had 5 hours, I mean, that would be a nightmare editing, but if we had 5 hours,
we could some.
We could sit here.
We should do one late at night when we're like tired and delusional, because that's when we're our funniest.
Yep.
So, anyways, thank you for coming on the Parking Lot Dreamer podcast.
Thank you for
I love
having
you.
me.
Thank you for being my fellow dreamer and bestie.
Bye, guys.